The Buffalo Bills could be without some key defensive starters in this AFC Championship game, which would give the Chiefs a pretty big advantage. You guys are listening to the KC Sports Report. My name is Michael Darcy. Hit that like button on this video and subscribe to this channel for more of the best daily Chiefs content on YouTube. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into Buffalo's injury update from Wednesday. This is coming directly from the Buffalo Bills, and right away, you can see three defensive starters that were either limited or did not practice on Wednesday. The first being cornerback Christian Benford, who was limited with a concussion. The second being linebacker Matt Milano, who was limited with a biceps and hamstring injury. And the final one being safety Taylor Rapp, who did not practice with a back/hip injury that he sustained against the Baltimore Ravens last week. So I do think it is very interesting to see three defensive starters banged up this week. And another guy that's on this list is tackle Dion Dawkins, who did not practice on Wednesday with an illness. Now, he'll probably bounce back. I don't expect that he misses the game on Sunday. But a guy like Taylor Rapp, who's been really banged up, he could be very questionable for Sunday. Matt Milano, I think he'll probably tough it out and play, but he's not going to be fully healthy. And Christian Benford, if he's still dealing with concussion symptoms, he can play on Sunday. I don't know what help he is going to be, which is great news for the Chiefs because the Buffalo Bills defense, it's not very good. I don't think this Buffalo Bills defense is as good as everybody else is saying. That secondary, that linebacking core, you can pick on them. And so I do think that the Chiefs offense is going to go out there and execute, and having a guy that's coming off of a concussion, if he ends up playing, you can target Benford. Matt Milano's not going to have the same speed. He hasn't been the same player for a couple years, and he didn't play in last year's AFC divisional round. So he's someone that, he can play on Sunday, but I don't know the type of impact that he is going to give. And the Bills are banged up, man. This could be a thing that swings this game into the Chiefs' favor, and they're still going to have to go out there and execute. But I really like seeing, not that I like seeing these guys injured, but it's a strategic element of the game. And if those guys aren't 100%, if they're a step slower, the Chiefs can pick on that. They can utilize, those, weaknesses to their strengths, and that could easily be the difference in a game that there's not much margin for error. This is going to come down to the very end, and if Matt Milano and Christian Benford and Taylor Rapp are a step slower, that could be the difference in going to the Super Bowl or going home. So I do think that it was just very good to see that those guys may be questionable to play on Sunday if you're a Chiefs fan. Another thing that I wanted to pull up, this was the inactives the last time the Chiefs and the Bills played in the regular season. This is guys that were hurt. They were either inactive. I'm pretty sure all of these guys were hurt. But going down the list, the Bills didn't have Matt Milano, Spencer Brown, Dalton Kincaid, Keon Coleman, Dwayne Smoot. And on the Chiefs' end, they didn't have Isaiah Pacheco, Marquise Brown, Jalen Watson, Charles Omenihu, and Harrison Butker. Now, Spencer Schrader didn't miss in this game, but Harrison Butker in the playoffs is just a completely different animal. He's made big kicks against this Bills team. I mean, going back to the 13 seconds, going back to last year in the divisional, he made the big-time kicks when asked to against this Bills team. So the Chiefs getting their number 2 running back back into the fold, getting a number 2 wide receiver back, getting your number 2 corner, and also getting a starting edge rusher and your starting kicker back. Those are very big additions. Now, I will say, Matt Milano, when he is fully healthy, is a very solid linebacker, and Dalton Kincaid seemingly always just kills this Chiefs team over the middle. But I don't really put much stock into Keon Coleman playing in this game. They haven't really used him down the stretch. They also haven't used Amari Cooper. So if they're not using Amari Cooper, who they just traded for, why would they use the rookie Keon Coleman? So I think the Chiefs, drafting Xavier Worthy over Keon Coleman will probably be, up there with the, Bills trading the draft pick for the Chiefs to go draft Mahomes and go draft McDuffie. I mean, the Bills have just made some horrendous trades over the past couple of seasons that have helped this Chiefs team beat them when it really matters. So I think that's actually pretty funny. But I will say that if those guys for the Bills don't end up playing, if you don't see Taylor Rapp, if you don't see Matt Milano and Christian Benford doesn't play, that's a big loss for this Bills defense that is already struggling. They don't have a great defense. If they lose 3 of their defensive starters, it's going to be very tough for them to come back from that. Now, I will say it's pretty early on in the week. I would say that at least 2 of those guys play. If I was to bet right now, I would probably say that Taylor Rapp doesn't end up playing. He suffered a gnarly injury against the Ravens, and I think he got carted off. So I don't think that he is necessarily going to be good to go on Sunday, but Matt Milano is going to give it his best shot. And if Benford can clear concussion protocol, you're going to see him on Sunday as well. So with all that being said, guys, I want to hear from you guys down in the comment section below. Do you think that these injuries are going to potentially help the Kansas City Chiefs get a leg up on the Buffalo Bills? And could that come back to hurt Buffalo in the end? Before we go any further, guys, I want to give a shout out to the sponsor of this video, Mozy. This video is sponsored by my friends over at Mozy. Mozy is a wearable and weatherproof thermal wrap which is 500% warmer than a normal stadium blanket. It has great features like large front pockets for storage and also a hands-free option so you can stand up and sit down and cheer on your Chiefs team without feeling restricted. And if you're going to the AFC Championship game this Sunday and you're bringing the wife, you're bringing the kids, you have got to keep them warm because so many fans leave the game before it's over because they're too cold. They got frostbite. They're just not able to withstand the conditions of Arrowhead Stadium. It's going to be in the low 20s, the high 30s for this game, and the best way you can keep your significant other and your kids warm is by using a Mozy. Go check out the link in my description and use code KCSR for 30% off your entire order at checkout. This is for a limited time only, so go ahead and click the link in my description and go get yourself a Mozy. Shout out to Mozy for sponsoring this channel for the next couple of weeks, actually next couple of months. But I also wanted to talk about how at this point in the season, health is just so important. And you saw with the Detroit Lions, who had so many of their key defensive starters down, the Washington Commanders went into Detroit and beat them. Now, this Chiefs team is very different than the Detroit Lions, and this Bills team is as well. But I do think it is worth noting that teams cannot afford to lose defensive starters in a game of this magnitude. I mean, who knows if the backup safety being a step or two slower or he can't get to the right spot in time, that could be the difference in scoring a touchdown. That could be the difference between, again, going to the Super Bowl or going home. So I think the Chiefs did get good news on the injury front for the Bills. Now, this is something that we'll be talking about all week, and I'll give you guys more updates on not only, the Buffalo Bills, but the Chiefs injury report, because we did hear earlier today that Mecole Hardman is not going to be activated off of IR, so he's done for the year, and I think that we might have saw the last of Mecole Hardman in a Chiefs uniform. But I think the Chiefs probably made the right decision not activating him for this playoff run. He's banged up. You've got Nico Remigio, who's played fantastic football in Hardman's absence. I think the Chiefs made the right call, but it is crazy that Mecole Hardman last year made the game-winning catch in a Super Bowl to give the Chiefs, their back-to-back championships. So I'm going to always have some love for Mecole Hardman, but we might have just saw the very last of him in Kansas City. So again, Chiefs Kingdom, that is all I have for this video. The Buffalo Bills have 3 defensive starters that were either limited or did not practice on Wednesday. That could change in the coming days, but as of Wednesday, before Sunday's AFC Championship game, those 3 defensive players, could be questionable. You guys, I appreciate you so much. Hit that like button on this video and subscribe to this channel for more daily Chiefs coverage. Until next time, guys, thank you for watching this video. And as always, go Chiefs.